Okay, guys. So I just got done listening to part of the interview with Elyssa Slotkin when she was on Breaking Points with Sagar Enjeti and Crystal Ball. Listen to some commentary from Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk, and it's got me thinking. Like, again, yes, today is another day where we should be saying and hounding people that release the Epstein Files. What do I mean by that? We want the list of people that they are going to be indicting and prosecuting for crimes against children, whoever the hell it is. We should have full accountability. No more dodges, no more cover-ups. Trump is giving all of his tells, all of them. Like, it is true that he will say something is a hoax when people have already got him dead to rights, and that is just his method to go to war on the truth, go to war on the facts. Like, he seems to think that he can just spin the narrative, discredit everybody who is credible by just saying that they're corrupt and it's a hoax or whatever. Because if you actually look at the history, right, like the stuff with Eugene Carroll, the Russia stuff, like, it was proven in court that Russia tried to influence the election through, like, Facebook profiles and ads and things like that. And like, they were, looking at some of the registration data, I think. Like, just go look at the court records. Like, check out Heather Cox Richardson's coverage on this stuff, because she knows it by heart. And the stuff with Comey and them spying on his office, like, the Trump people did a lot of illegal stuff, and people had to look into it. And maybe just don't do crimes. Like, he does crimes out in the open, and then he cries foul when people investigate and they prosecute him. And there have been, like, judicial rulings where he's been found guilty in the court of law. Like, the right wing will sit there and go, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. Well, whatever. Like, I don't really care. If it gets to court, you go through the whole court process and everybody argues their case, and the jury finds how they find, or the judge finds how they find based on the facts. Like, you're either for rule of law or you're not. And, I would argue, if you actually care about law and order and the Constitution, and also international rights and human rights in general, everybody in this regime needs to go to jail. And, like, I would say they need to be under the jail. That's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because, like, they're terrible people. But back to the Elyssa Slotkin stuff and the Democrats in general. Like, this whole Beltway brain thing is a real problem. Like, she cannot bring herself to say this is an ethnic cleansing when she's basically describing what's happening. She is acting like she's doing something by saying the most important thing right now is to get these people food, when aid is being used literally as a weapon. This aid org is backed by Israel and the US, and they are using aid to trap and kill people. Like, people that understand aid deliveries, they look at the situation, like, experienced, like, veterans who've been in a lot of, like, hairy situations where they made sure that, like, we delivered aid to some people. They're looking at the situation like, this does not make sense, and it's not a good thing for, like, IDF. He's coming to the defense of the IDF, which I'm like the IOF, because they're not a defensive force, they're not offensive force. Like, bottom line, like, the politicians, especially on the Democratic side, because they should know better, like, we need to stop backing the Israel government. Like, maybe you back Israel, but, like, there are things that need to happen. Like, we need to have white hats go in. I don't know if I have that right. Like, the problem is the population has gone basically completely psychotic. They've been propagandized to basically see Palestinians as not even human, and they're fine with killing everybody. Women, children, all of them. And they don't care. And they're like, they don't differentiate between, like, Hamas, the government leaders, and their military force, which, there's not that many of them. I think it's like 30,000 or something like that. And I have to wonder if most of those guys are even there anymore, or how many are alive. And then they'll never get the top leaders, most likely, because they're probably somewhere in Qatar. But, like, our politicians, like, they need to grow a damn spine, and we really need to, like, shift gears away from all these military interventions. Like, it's all really expensive. It makes us more enemies, and it's just not necessary. Like, it's so stupid that, like, since Jimmy Carter, I think, like, he made some deal with China, and ever since then, I think it was like the Jakarta deal or something like that. Like, China doesn't go to war with people. They do diplomacy. They do the Belt and Road Initiative. They're catching up to us if they haven't already surpassed us in some ways. Like, we have screwed ourselves over now because we're being like isolationists. We're being incredibly violent and scaring the hell out of our populace with this BS sweep to try to deal with immigrants that are not the problem at all, really. Like, doing things that have never been done before. It's crazy expensive. The concentration camps are absolutely like, there's war crimes happening here. Like, ethnic cleansing is a war crime. Doing like targeted harassment, racial profiling, that's a violation of human rights. Like, those are crimes. You can't do those things. And there's violations of judicial rulings. In Michigan, I think they're trying to pass something so the ICE folks, or people that are posing as ICE, that are not identifying themselves, can get arrested, which I think should happen. Like, if you're kidnapping people, that's illegal. You should get arrested for that. If you're trying to rendition people to a third country, if the courts haven't signed off on that, and I'm not really sure if that's the case everywhere, which it shouldn't be, like, it's clearly a violation of the 8th Amendment, and it violates the 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, 4th Amendment, and I think 8th Amendment. I said that. But, like, our politicians need to grow a damn spine. They basically just need to say, hey, if we're still going to be allies with Israel, we have to address that government. Like, we should aid in the arrest of the leadership, and we should help with basically ending the apartheid state and giving full human rights to all people. Like, have one Israel where it's united, but you're going to have some work to do to rebuild and re-educate people. Like, and it sounds like that's like some kind of authoritarian move, but it's not. Like, when you're re-educating because you have a population that has just gone rabidly, insanely, like, far right, fascist, and they're trying to have only one acceptable solution, which is like all the Palestinians are gone and you just have a Jewish ethno state. Like, no, like, that cannot and should not be allowed. It's completely unnecessary. And the problems that have been happening with Israel and the Palestinians is because Israel has been committing crimes against the Palestinians, against the people of Gaza, since the 1960s. Israel's the problem. Their government and the way that their people have been educated to believe about Palestinians and people in Gaza. It's the apartheid state that's the problem. Like, you have to dismantle the apartheid conditions, and you have to make sure that people get necessary care and support. And you need a different government. You need a democratic government. You need a government that is like a unity government. Like, you need people that talk like Zoran Mamdani. Like, everybody deserves equal rights, and we have to work through this together. I keep using him as example because he's one of the few people I've heard recently, other than like podcast people, that are correct on this issue and are using the right tone and strength in his principled position on this. So like, I'm just tired of weaselly Democrats that, like, they just get so angry with people that are on the left that are trying to push them to have the right positions. Like, and it's like, it's not even like a partisan thing. It's just like, you have to care about human rights. You have to be like, you're gonna have to move off your so staunchly, like, only one version can exist in my head of what capitalism can be. Like, why is it in your head that we have to have this form of capitalism that crushes everyone and only advantages the wealthy? Like, they have these dumb stories in their head that just because, you know, people have been able to be successful in their family with like a hot dog business. I think it was like Elyssa Slotkin had said. Like, no, there's other forms that we need to entertain. Like, we need a stronger safety net, social safety net. We need things in place to reduce housing costs and overall costs. We have to get rid of I'm sorry, I know you guys take a lot of money from the insurance lobby, but we have to stop with this insurance model that's incredibly unnecessary, incredibly predatory, and like, it's, maybe you like it because it benefits you and it helps you stay in power, but it's not good for the rest of us. Like, and the housing thing, like, the media is not really covering this, but there was a CEO of Blackstone that got, you know what I mean, pew-pewed by the guy that they keep trying to say it's like he was going after the NFL, but like, that wasn't the floor he went to, and those weren't the people that he pew-pewed. He pew-pewed a CEO of Blackstone. They don't want to cover it because they don't want it to be similar situation with, you know, the Brian Thompson from the Universal Healthcare CEO. And again, like, are we surprised? And this is my strong pitch to people with a lot of money, billionaires and necamillionaires, especially ones that are like a little bit more savvy about what the current temperature is. You guys can pick a different lane, and the Democrats need to make sure that they are encouraging all of you guys, like, hey, you know, if we still have to do, you know, take donations from you guys, you're going to have to get behind us when we do some things that maybe seem like they don't serve your immediate interests. But ultimately, if they help you continue living on this world, maybe it's a good idea, kind of like an FDR scenario. I know he had help from Elizabeth Perkins, I think it was, on his policies. But as far as I understand it, maybe the story wasn't fully told to me accurately. I'm not sure, because things are a little bit skewed in America. Everything's like very America-brained, and some interesting narratives are told. But my understanding of FDR was basically he got wealthy people together and he told them, like, listen, we can do some other things policy-wise and break up companies and raise taxes, or you're going to have to deal with the pitchfork mob. This shouldn't be a hard decision for you if you care about self-preservation. Like, you know, we understand that people operate within their own self-interest. Well, I argue decamillionaires and billionaires, if they're smart, they would be advocating for higher taxes for them, a wealth tax and a progressive income tax, and abolishment of loopholes and tax havens, and they can pay their fair share, and we break up some big companies, and we shift our priorities. Like, if you're going to get any kind of reduction for, I don't know, property taxes or whatever for your company, you have to be solving actual problems, and it can't just be about your profits and your shareholder profits. Like, I think we need to redo some laws around publicly traded companies. The incentives need to be changed. They have to. And, you know, I'm not inside the Beltway, so like, they're probably gonna look at me like I got 5 heads, but I can almost bet you if you pitch some of these ideas to the people that you might not expect would probably get on board. Like, we understand we are getting ripped off by the billionaire class. Like, we all do. Like, that's why I think that CEO from Blackstone got pew-pewed, because that company does heinous stuff. Like, they buy up a lot of properties and drive up prices, and they drive up rents to obscene amounts, and that's totally unnecessary, and it makes the affordability crisis like worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, it shouldn't be the case where everybody's getting more and more desperate, where they're looking around like, damn, like, if I have to move, like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, I feel that. I don't know where I would go at this point. Like, me and my girlfriend would like to get like a bigger place than we have right now. Like, we got in where we fit in, and it's a nice enough spot, I guess, but it's kind of small. We're kind of outgrowing it a little bit, and we would like something a little bit bigger with like a lawn in the back, but it feels out of reach because like everything's like, I don't know, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8 or 2 million. And I don't know if you guys have like done the math on like what a mortgage would look like for something like that, but it's nuts. It's nuts. Like, even if we were doing like a little bit better on money, like that's not feasible. So like, I think billionaires should take a different tack instead of the stuff that they're doing right now, like getting on board with like Project 2025 and all that stuff, where they're just kind of devastating everybody. It's all messed up. Go a different way. You know, we can have a longer, healthier future with everybody if the billionaires just pay their fair share and play fair with the rest of us, because they ain't got shit without us. And our politicians, the Democrats really gotta stop being like MAGA light. Stop being Republican light. Like, stop trying to go after suburban Republicans. Fight for your freaking base. Are you a Democrat or not? Like, are you supposed to supposedly represent the left? They despise the left. Like, it drives me crazy that I get associated with the Democrats because they're weak and they don't govern well enough for us. Yes, they are better than the Republican Party, but like, you know, you could just exist and do that, because Republicans are like just rabidly, like, they hate everybody. They hate everybody except for the rich people. And it feels like that's kind of where the Democrats are. Like, yes, do they do better things sometimes? Yes. But it's not enough. It's not enough to get people to go, well, hell yeah, I'll vote for you. I've only had a few people where I'm like, well, damn, I wish I could vote for them, or damn, hell yeah, I'll vote for them. And that's like, you know, Bernie Sanders, AOC, some of the other members of the squad, Zoran Mamdani, because they're actually talking policies that meet the moment. And that's not me being a crazy lefty. It's just looking at the situation like, how are we going to fix this crap? And does it move enough in the right direction? And that's my assessment. And that's not crazy. That's based on what we've seen work before, even in this country. And I'm tired of people looking at me like I'm nuts while they keep backing policies that do not work and just make the problem worse and only serve billionaires and moneyed interests. Yeah, it gives them political power, maybe, but it doesn't fix the system. And then people are just wishy-washy, and then the Democrats chase their tail as if the Republicans are popular. No, they're voting for Republicans because you're not fighting hard enough. You're not listening to the damn people, and you're not coming up with a policy platform that people can get behind. That's the problem. Or are you stupid? I think so. I think the answer is yes. Stop being stupid. Just listen to us. Do something different. Don't go, well. Or like, take a damn position. Jesus, even Marjorie Taylor Greene came out first and called what's going on in Israel a genocide before all of the Democrats, basically. Are you kidding me? That wingnut. And I don't know why, because she's also like an anti-Semite, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm mad, but, you know, I'm here. This is day one of dealing with having been robbed, chasing down information for insurance. So that's fun. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves.